Great morning to you, Americans, patriots. I am James Detroit. I appreciate you continuing to follow me, put in your time and your effort. I want to keep bringing the facts, try to figure out what's happening in our world today. And there's a couple of people that I read on a regular basis. If you do not subscribe to Mike Adams and the Health Ranger, Mike Adams put together a very nice piece reminding us of how and why we are Americans originally. So where do our liberties come from? Where do our rights come from? They are divine. They are not given to us. Human rights are not given to us by any government. It's a great reminder. Please check that out. Also, Bill Bonner, he comments about how travel used to be kind of fun. You know, you print off a ticket, airline ticket, and you know you're going to travel, and there's this excitement, there's this enthusiasm about what's about to happen. Traveling what had a sense of I can't wait for that to come. And yet today, everything that they want to do, they want to run us through x-ray machines. They want to, frisk any and all of us that set off we got to check this out. And for me, regularly, it's something along the side of my body. They want, I guess I should take it as a compliment that the TSA regularly wants to feel this area of my body. And if we had a few more minutes, we weren't rushing through this process, I could let them go ahead and rub that out, give me a massage. So the mass, one of the universal exchanges in humanity was a smile. It was a smile. We all know what a smile means. Hello. How are you? Hope you're having a nice day. I am. I'm having a nice day. It's more than just a human greeting. And so we've lost that with face masks. We've lost, especially in travel. There's a lot of challenges, self-imposed challenges. We are letting this happen. And then the start of the impeachment, the unconstitutional act of, yet again, the politics of Washington, D.C. This is really an ugly aspect of governance, and every one of us, we need to make sure that our elected officials understand. Again, another waste of our money. Sebastian Gorka has a fantastic article today with the American Consequences team. So he writes, and I'm just going to read this to you because it sums up some fantastic points. Robinhood and GameStop, the MAGA Connection by Sebastian Gorka, PhD. Donald Trump has, of course, left the White House, although you wouldn't know it by the fact that he's still so prominently reported on in the news. It's actually more than President Joe Biden. Trump has even already opened his official business address, the office of the former president, in Florida, and recently endorsed his first political candidate, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, for governorship of Arkansas. But what of the MAGA movement? The media may be desperate to have their perennial punchball back. And perhaps Trump may be back in action as an outside actor, but can the America First movement survive even 2 years with a radicalized Democratic Party in control of both houses of Congress and a Democratic president who signed 40 executive actions in just the first 9 days of being in office, more than any chief executive ever before? Now, let me just say, I've been on record. If this is what the American people wanted, if the American people voted for Joe Biden to be president, if the American people voted for the Senate to be essentially in control by the Democrats, if the American people allowed the House of Representatives to be maintained by the Democrats. If all of that happened, why does a president feel the need to write executive orders at such a radical pace? You control every aspect of the governance. Why do you feel that need? Is it because that's not really the will of the American people? Could that be it? And I know I'm going to get some comments about the videography of this, about the focus. I need my lighting changed. Yeah, I don't necessarily need you to see my face. My voice is more important. And now that I'm at an undisclosed location, okay, back to the article. Before we try and answer that crucial question, we first have to be clear on how it came to be that in 2016, for the first time ever in the history of our republic, we chose someone who had never served in the public office or as a senior military officer for our commander-in-chief. It wasn't solely a function of who Trump was. Yes, his brash demeanor, anti-swamp message, and decades-long celebrity status were all crucial ingredients in his success. But his rise to the Oval Office was really a consequence of negative and deep-seated trends in our nation's prosperity. And the willingly chosen managed decline both sides of the political elite had surrendered us to without acquiescence. For some terrific insight into what I mean by willful managed decline, please read J.D. Vance's Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis. And don't bother watching the watered-down Oscar bait Netflix version. Please read it. This autobiography, written by a former Marine who was not a Trump supporter, at least not when he wrote it, provides the clearest explanation of how a slogan of America First turned a real estate tycoon and reality TV star into our 45th president. He details the story of how the working and middle classes of America were systematically betrayed by both the Republican and Democratic parties, as big business and Wall Street bought themselves ironclad access to DC decision makers, while good manufacturing jobs, ones that resulted in actual physical products, were shipped to Asia, and ultimately opioids were used to dull the pain of the unemployed, exporting jobs and importing fentanyl. So when a man came to the stage who rejected the message of the inevitable rise of China and India and other rivals, a man who said, "We can make America great again," the establishment just laughed until he won. But what now? The empire has struck back and Biden is in office. Is that it? Last week's news indicates that the MAGA movement, which propelled a non-politician to the highest office in the land, is still very much alive and may in fact be stronger than ever. What if I had told you a year ago that one subreddit comment page of nostalgic gamers would crush several hedge funds to the tune of more than $7 billion with their trades on the free trading app Robinhood, resulting in a $1.6 billion worth of losses for the big boys in just one day? You probably would have laughed. But if you had believed the prediction, you probably would have made out like a bandit, even as well as the infamous Robin Hood of yore. Yes, I know, Robin of Locksley is mostly fictional, but if you read Vance's work, put his socio-political observations into broader political and geopolitical context of the last 4 years, and then the last 40 years, the recent GameStop story that has shaken Wall Street to the core becomes oh so clear. So what really happened? Here I must give full credit to the person who helped me have a competitive advantage in all of this. When your 21-year-old son is an avid Robinhood trader and an OG Reddit user who gives you almost daily updates, it gives you an edge. In a nutshell, The hedge funds, like Melvin Capital and Citron, short stocks in companies they believe are vulnerable, mismanaged, fraudulent, or obsolete. GameStop was one such company, a brick-and-mortar video game retailer that the big boys believed was incapable of transforming into the internet age, like Netflix when it moved from mailing out DVDs to streaming movies. However, their intentions became transparent, and the Wall Street Bets subreddit community, made up of regular guys and gals who like GameStop and have faith in it, said it was just wrong. So they started buying GameStop shares like crazy, encouraging others to do the same via non-commission based trading apps like Robinhood. What resulted was amazing, a modern-day David versus Goliath tale, as GameStop shares rallied 700% and Wall Street funds like Melvin and Citron lost their collective shirts. Anyone who likes free markets should love this story. Plus, it's the quintessence of MAGA. The establishment decides to tank a venture that has given pleasure to so many Americans for so long, and the small guys say, no, it's not going to happen. And they organize themselves and save a real, actual American company from the cartel-like predators. If there was any question that this was a case of the small guy versus corporate interests skewing the playing field, just look at the public reaction when Robinhood was forced to cave to the Wall Street companies who really act as the app's back office, when they ordered a close on GameStop trades via the massively popular app. David Portnoy from Barstool Sports, of the highly influential Barstool franchise, even called for Robinhood executives to be jailed. Bottom line, not even I know whether my old boss Donald Trump intends to run again in 2024. But I can tell you with 100% certitude, the political and economic realities and personal grievances and hopes that made him president once are already still alive and well across America, maybe even stronger than ever. That's the end of Sebastian's article. I appreciate Sebastian's honesty. I appreciate his insight. And I'm also going to say that this revolution that was started a number of years ago, some may think this revolution, that we were defeated once and finally for all. We are not. Our revolution of the people, by the people, for the people, to return to a constitutional republic is just getting started. The idea, the mental state that somebody can come to that can suggest that the idea of our revolution, human rights for everybody, a return to exactly what this country was created to be, that you can eliminate that idea, that's a mistake. We, together, are stronger than ever. We will continue to show that. We are looking to support people in positions of policy making, i.e. elected officials, that want to support just that. We will continue to grow stronger together, and we will prevail. I am James Detroit, and for now, I'm out.